What's up, guys? Ivan Carranza here, and welcome to Bass Tone Tuesday. Today, we're going to talk about the bass tone of the song Trail of Ashes by my band Ashmakers. This track was released a couple of weeks ago, and in case you haven't listened to it, I'm going to put a link in the description below and also a card up here because there's a lyric video, and I've also done a playthrough of the song, and I've gotten pretty positive feedback on the bass sound that I got there, especially on talkbass.com. So I figured it would be interesting for you guys to check how the bass sounds isolated and what was the process behind making that tone. And also, this is the first Bass Tone Tuesday on my new space, and I'm really looking forward to doing this video. So now let's go to my screen, and I'm gonna show you what I did and how all the tracks sound like. So here I have all the tracks that are in the song, and they are already mixed. So they have post-processing and EQ, delays, compressors and whatnot applied to them. But I'm also gonna show you the raw bass tracks that I recorded. And here on top, I have the lead vocals.
I can't stop playing the lottery of hope.
As you can hear, it's got delay and reverb applied to the track. Now I have the vacuum vocals here.
Passing through the street signs, another place that feels the same.
There with the lead vocals.
I'm just trafficking beats, man. Leave a trail of ashes in my.
You know, they make the sound a lot wider. Then I have the guitars. And there's the solo, which I'm gonna play later. Then the bass. Really growly, really like a lot of growl to the tone. Then I have the drums. Now let's listen to the bass and the drums on their own. And then we're gonna, swap some instruments, just put the guitars on their own, then put the bass to see how things sound like. Bass. There are four guitars. One's doing those and then the other one's doing the chords. You go with bass. And you can listen to the delays of the guitar as well. So the bass is definitely pretty aggressive, it's fairly distorted, and the guitars are fairly thin, which gives the bass more place, to carry that whole section. Now I'm gonna go to the chorus of the song and listen again, drums, bass, and guitar, and see how those blend together in that section. So just the drums first. Like I mentioned, the guitars are not like super low and heavy, which leaves place for the bass to really punch down below. And the distortion makes the bass also glue with the guitar pretty well. Now let's listen to what I provided our mixing engineer. This is this folder right here, which is called Bass Tracks. Now, this is my clean DI, and this was my noble DI, recorded without any EQ, without any compression or anything. Now, as far as I know, the mixing engineer did not use the DI track, so it was just there for reference. The main body of the sound is actually the Ampeg crunch and the Ampeg drive. So the Ampeg crunch is this thing. So it's just breaking up a little bit, not a lot of distortion, but it had that mid-rangey bite to it. Compared to the Ampeg drive. It's completely distorted. That's a really growling amp. And then what Henning, our mixing engineer, did was to combine those two tracks and add some compression and some EQ here and there, some filtering to make the final bass sound. But let me show you how I got the Ampeg drive and the Ampeg crunch. And if I take the clean DI track, I'm of course very away from the final result. So I'm gonna grab the plugin by Plugin Alliance, which is the Ampeg SVT VR. Awesome plugin, I love it. And I've made myself a preset of what I used. And it was this thing, the Unspoken bass, because that's what I used for the cover of Unspoken by the Daisies, and I really liked how the bass sounded there. So I just took the same one. And let's listen to it now. I'll pull back on the volume just in case. If compared to the final result, the final result is a bit brighter. So let me boost some treble. Now, that is pretty close already, and we're only using one plugin. Like I mentioned, Henning used the two tracks, the crunch and the drive, and then apply compression and some slight EQ. But this definitely works as the, driven tone. And now I'm gonna turn this off and show you what I used for the crunch sound. This one. That's 1-to-1. That's exactly the same sound. So let me show you the settings that I used for those two. Now here for the crunch one, which is this sound, I'm using the bright channel of channel 1. If I was to use the normal channel, it would be like this, which is a lot darker. That's a bright channel. Now I am boosting some volume to get the master output to distort a bit more. I am boosting some treble, not too much. The mid-range is 12 o'clock, and I'm boosting a little bit of bass. And what is interesting, and here's where a lot of the breakup comes from, is the input gain is at 6 or plus 6 dB, and that pushes together with the master volume or the volume controls here on top, pushes the sound to just a little bit of breakup. And I'm pulling back on the power soak to avoid clipping my signal, because if I don't, It's just way too loud. And for the mics, I'm using, you know, an 8x10 cabinet and the SM7b plus a ribbon microphone. So this is the crunch channel. And for the drive channel, a lot growlier, you know, really fussy, really And here we're also using the bright channel of channel 1, which is this one. And if I was to use the normal one, that's just too farty. This gives you much more definition because you're not distorting that much low end. Here, as you can see, I'm really boosting the volume. This cleans it up. Really nasty, so that's all the way in. I think I was a bit behind. Completely clean. Really growly. I'm boosting a lot of treble to get that pop on the notes. Here I'm pulling back a bit on the mids on the 800 and boosting some bass. And I'm using the same mic and same cabinet, and I'm also boosting a lot of input gain and pulling back on the power soak. This cleans it up as well. Makes it really distorted, right? Now let's check out the whole mix again, and I'm gonna go to a different section. We're gonna take a look at the bridge, and I'm gonna stack the tracks again so that we can hear how everything builds up on top of each other. So just start with the drums. Now bass. You can hear how much delay the vocals have, which is, you know, when you hear full production, you don't really hear that.
Got the whole world in front of me.
Really cool. It bounces left and right. And let's go to the solo because that's one of my favorite songs, spots of the song.
There's no time to think away, 'cause there's a place to set up things.
I think of the bass. How empty that sounds. Now listen to what the guitars, you know, the background guitars are doing there, because when I wrote this track, I did something really cool with the verse on this section. These are the guitars. And I changed the bass. And it goes on back again to the chorus. So let's listen to the whole section again. So that is Trail of Ashes, and like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, in case you haven't checked that out, I would highly recommend you to go and find it on Spotify, Apple Music, whatever you use to stream it, because it's on all streaming platforms. Also here on YouTube. Check the card that was here and also the link in the description below. And you can also follow us on Instagram and all those things. But I hope you guys liked the video. And if you would like to, see more in-depth breakdowns of these things, I can even go more in-depth, But I'm trying to keep the videos at a reasonable duration. But if you would like to go like really, really down the rabbit hole, let me know in the comments down below. As always, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care.